Leona Lewis doesn't even know what illuminati is. Joke is on you. Of course it will be everywhere you'll look. There will always be symbols, gestures that'll remind you of that silly thing that's called illuminati. You know what? I don't care about it, but what bothers me is that you think everything is illuminati. If I see a guy wearing pink pants, is he automatically gay? No. So is covering one eye automatically illuminati? No.
This is just one example of an ill-informed opinion that I received recently, and I wanted to talk about it because, first off, these people that make these comments firstly know nothing, I assume they can't know much about the entertainment mainstream media industry, and secondly they know nothing about the occult itself and the way it works. I worked in the mainstream media industry. That's how I know that it's completely controlled, and that's why I do what I do. I worked for a fair while with celebrities like Leona Lewis and many more celebrities that are a lot more famous than Leona Lewis. Let's face it, she came from X Factor. She's not particularly an A-lister like your Hollywood top A-list actors and actresses. So before you accuse me of these things, please know that I have a lot more of an informed opinion other than just sitting at home absorbing everything that comes out of the box in the lounge. So, I know the media is controlled. I know that nothing is put into photos without a purpose and a reason behind it, because they spend a long time on these things. There's reasons for everything they do. It's not just coincidences. Secondly, the media industry is full of the occult. It's full of Satanism at the very top. It is. That's just a fact. And the name Illuminati means illumination. It's not the be-all and end-all of it. Illumination is luciferianism. If you know nothing of this, then you know nothing of what you're talking about. So I don't really believe your ill-informed opinion on that. And of course you'll see it everywhere, because it is everywhere. In the mainstream media it's generally everywhere. It's not absolutely everywhere, but there's a lot of it. And that's why you see a lot of these symbols. The fact that you spent years researching is quite hypocritical and sad. Honestly, this is what we're dealing with. People who are actually looking for the truth get accused of being sad. And not only that, having a mental disorder. Let's go on to the next one.
Pareidolia is a psychological phenomenon involving a vague and random stimulus being perceived as significant.
Honestly, the lengths that these people go to defend that they're celebrity idols is outstanding. It's just quite funny to me, because a lot of these people who they adamantly defend are not even aware or interested in you. They are, I'm not saying this is true of Leona Lewis particularly, and she may not even know what this so-called Illuminati is. I'm sure she does. I mean, come on. But the lengths that people go to defend their celebrity idols who care nothing of them is outstanding. And they will call anyone who criticises or points out plain facts crazy. And this is the ultimate mind control of the media, is duping people into giving their all to this fake reality that is television and movies. And I can tell you it's shrouded in the occult, because I myself started getting into the occult when I was in my heyday of doing it. And that's because it is a satanic industry. Hollywood is a satanic industry. And whatever you say is not going to change my mind on that, because unless you've worked thoroughly in it yourself, I'm not going to listen to your opinions. And I don't care about drawing attention to what you say, because, you know, you're going out there and saying that about myself and my research, so I will say it publicly about you. So let's look quickly at some of these, dispute some of these claims. If you say that Leona Lewis is not at least marked by this satanic industry, Not that saying that she knows about it herself necessarily, but again, I highly doubt that. This hopefully will prove you wrong on that, at least. Well, it probably won't in your mind, but let's face it, I've had to admit to some of my favourite artists in the past as being part of this, and maybe you will too. But that's the 666 gesture. That's just a fact. That's what it is. And a lot of other people, because she's controlled by Psycho Records, Simon Cowell's record label, and these are some examples of his other artists. This is One Direction, all doing exactly the same thing. I mean, just a coincidence, obviously. Nothing to it. I'm just seeing things. So this is another one of Leona Lewis, atop of the pyramid. Obviously not real. I've got a psychological disorder which imagines these things and puts these things to what it is. Anyway, this is Leona Lewis again. Constantly doing one-eyed symbolism, constantly dressing in satanic black, and that's just a fact. This is her wearing the six-pointed star. Where have we seen that six-pointed star before? Oh, on the Saturn. The six-pointed star, the 666. That's what it is, Saturn, Satan. This is another six-pointed star, also attributed to the Star of David. It is not the Star of David. It's not the true star, it's an occult symbol. That is the symbol of Saturn. This is the seal of Solomon. Solomon's temple, do you know anything about that? Look it up. So, as I said before, this is the main one that draws my attention because she's doing the eye with the pyramid. That's not a coincidence, they do these things on purpose. This is Cher Lloyd, also under Psycho Records, doing exactly the same thing. This is Cher Lloyd doing the pyramid with the eye. This is Leona Lewis on a Masonic black checkerboard background. If you know anything about the Masonic temples, look it up. I've been to a Masonic temple on a number of occasions, and I can tell you now that in their temple they have the checkerboard pattern. It's to do with duality. And that's what the occult is. Pixie Lot, doing the same symbol. Psycho Records, Labyrinth, complete Masonic ritual in his video Earthquake, and many other things across Labyrinth as well. All under Psycho Records, the same label that has Leona Lewis. Guys, this isn't made up. I could prove you wrong 1,000 times. If I'm seeing things, it would not all tie together, because when you get the truth, it does tie together across the board. Whoever it is and whatever it is, it all comes down to the same thing. This is thousands of years old occult mysteries and magic. It's pre-Babylonian era. This has been going through Egypt. This has been going ever since. And that's because that's the reality of the matrix we live in. And if you want to just watch TV and come to your conclusion based on a controlled media by financial moguls who put their symbols in these things and worship Satan and Lucifer, then that's up to you. Be willfully ignorant, because that's what you're being.
With your love, I feel like